No! Jun is at the door! Did he find out? Is that how he finds out? Wait, what? Iksun is breaking up with... Oh my... Iksun. Her condition definitely got worse. I think it's safe to say that this is how Jun finds out. It was a good episode. I would say JunWan and Eun Ji were definitely in the spotlight for this episode, especially JunWan. Just seeing how very stressed he was, barely eating, barely sleeping. He's booked with patients and surgery, but also on top of that, he was worried about Iksun. I mean, just her being in a car accident. Yeah, she had some head bleeding, and then that led her to having a headache and a fever. And even though she said that she was okay, JunWan, being a doctor himself, he says, well, even though you're okay, make sure that you monitor yourself, because most likely you're not going to be okay afterwards. And then towards the end of the episode, we find out that, yeah, she wasn't okay. She called Ikjun and said that her liver somatic index was over 300. She said that her bile ducts looked a bit swollen. Ikjun said that most likely she'll need a transplant. Yeah, she's not okay. I really felt bad for Eun Ji's mom. The way that she expressed how stressed, tortured, how she struggles every day and she can't live like this, not knowing when a donor is going to come so JunWan can perform the surgery on Eun Ji and she can be better. And yeah, I just felt really bad for her until towards the end when they actually got a donor. I was like, yes, finally. I think it's safe to say that Ikjun found out about the relationship between Iksun and JunWan. At first, when JunWan was talking on the phone and Ikjun was standing by the door, I really thought he found out. You know, he put two and two together. I mean, he may be a funny, always being extra character, but he is a smart guy. So I thought he found out. But then when he said some stuff to Iksun and that led her to break up with JunWan, I'm like, oh, what is he doing here? This does not make any sense. But then afterwards, towards the end, after he got the news that Iksun was not okay, and then Iksun said that please don't tell anyone, especially JunWan, I think at that point he can put two and two together and think that, oh, okay, so my best friend and my sister are actually seeing each other. Well, was. I want to pinpoint some funny moments. The first one was during lunch. Remember when Mina, Gil, and Ikjun were eating and Gil asked Ikjun, hey, didn't you invite someone? Ikjun said yes. And he also said, this time, I got it right. Yo, this is a good throwback to when in season 1, remember Ikjun and Gil were eating, I think, breakfast sandwiches with the interns at that time? And he said, I invited someone because they did have extra food. And Gil, she got excited. She thought it was JunWan, but come to find out it was JunWan, and she was so disappointed. So this time he got it right. Another funny moment was when Jae Hak was teaching JunWan how to use his Instagram account. Jae Hak told him, you know, how to do this, hashtags and stuff like that. And he says, hey, if there's anything else you want me to teach you, I'll teach it to you. But then JunWan was like, that's never going to happen. But then later on it happened. And then the last funny part I want to talk about was Songhwa. When she went outside with Ikjun, she sang off tone, of course. And the song, well, for anyone who is curious about the song that she was singing, it was Jack's Kiss Couple, I think. I think so, yeah. But what was funny was that Ikjun, he was just sitting there. He had to listen. I mean, he was there. And then when she was done, he was like, oh, are you done? We can go? Oh, and also her rapping was just so cute. Oh my god. That was one of the cutest raps I have ever seen. Well, so far. So at the beginning of the episode, it starts off with JunWan getting the news from Sekyung. He was the one that answered Iksun's phone. Iksun couldn't get to the phone. She was being tested after being in a car accident. Then afterwards, we see JunWan not sleeping. He was drinking because he was really worried about Iksun and he was waiting for her to call. Eventually, she did call. She said that she was okay. JunWan, he even said, well, you're not okay. You had some head bleeding and all of that. But she kept saying she's okay. But JunWan, being a doctor himself, he said to her that make sure you monitor yourself carefully. Even though you're okay now, most likely you won't be okay in the future. Now, throughout the episode, you can see Junwan very stressed out, very worried. Not only he booked himself with patients and surgeries and overworking himself, but on top of that, he was really worried about Ik-sun. He was even more worried even before when he found out that Ik-sun has a fever and a headache. It was because due to the accident. Now, as he was talking to her, the camera zooms out and we see Ik-jun at the door. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if you thought that's how he found out. But little did we know, that's not him finding out. That's just him thinking his girlfriend is putting more stress on his best friend. And then later, we see Ik-jun talking to Ik-sun on the phone, asking her, is she okay, and all of this. She's hiding the fact that she was in an accident, so she was saying she's okay. Ik-sun asked, hey, how's Songgwa, how's JunWan, how's Sekyung, and so forth, right? And when she asked how was Junan, Ik-jun surprisingly said he's really stressed out, he's overworked. I'm not surprised he said that because he was. But what was surprising was he said that his girlfriend is adding stress to him. And he continues to say that his girlfriend is very inconsiderate, which I'm thinking, whoa. But also, you need to think about, Ik-jun didn't find out the relationship between Ik-sun and Junan. It was just him thinking, oh, his girlfriend is just adding more stress onto him. So at that point, he didn't find out. Then later on, Junan is talking to Ik-sun and she pretty much broke up with him. She said to him that she fell for someone. Junan asked, is it Sekyung? She doesn't answer, but that's giving him the impression that it is. Then towards the end of the episode, this is where we find out that Ik-sun's condition has definitely gotten worse. She called Ik-jun. She said to him that her liver somatic index is over 300. Her bioducts looks a bit swollen. She was worried. She was crying. Ik-jun said to her, hey, I'm gonna book your flight, so come home immediately. Ik-sun told Ik-jun that please don't tell anyone, not mom, not dad, especially not Junan. And at that point, right there, I think we can safely say that that's how Ik-jun found out about the relationship between Junan and Ik-sun. Now, due to Ik-sun's condition, once she gets better, I think this is when Junan and Ik-sun will get back together. But also, this is where Ik-jun can finally confirm that her sister is dating her best friend. Man, what a crazy way to find out. Now let's get to Eun Ji's mom. First, again, I felt so bad for her mom. She was already tortured. Every single day she struggled. I mean, it's been 5 months already and no donor. And when the emergency happened, when Eun Ji's left side motor was poor, her arm was a grade 2 and her leg was a grade 3, I'm thinking more stuff for the mom to worry. And because of that happening, she's even more stressed out and more worried, and she even expressed how tortured she was to Junan. And for Junan, like, if I imagine myself in his position, I wouldn't even know what to say other than we're just waiting for a donor. But he did say to her, which did give her some encouragement, is that please don't give up. Because if you don't give up, we're not going to give up. So please don't. But then eventually they found a donor. Finally, they found a donor. It was a 11-year-old boy, 40 kilograms. Even though the hospital didn't want to use it because the boy had an infection. But Junan said, we'll take it because this is probably the only chance that Eun Ji gets to live. I believe it's safe to say that the surgery went well. And also seeing both Min-chan's mom and Eun Ji's mom embrace each other, and just seeing Min-chan's mom saying, I think the surgery is going to go well, so you don't have anything to worry about, and just seeing them hug each other and cry is, wow, not gonna lie, it made me cry. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the review and the episode. If there's anything I might have missed, please leave it in the comments below. This was another good episode. It was actually nice to see Ik-sun on screen and not on a phone screen. So again, that was nice. I hope the result after hearing her condition is going to be a good one and not to the point where I don't want to say it. I just don't want a bad ending for her. You know, I want Junan and Ik-sun to be together. So anyway, I'm going to end it here. If you guys like this video, leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe. See ya.